Thank you, everybody, for being here with me today. My name is Ed Trevors. I'm an Anglican priest in the Diocese of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. I get to serve in the beautiful town of Shelburne, Nova Scotia, in the awesome parish of Church Shelburne that sits on the ancestral and on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I give thanks for each one of you every single day for being here with me, for praying for me, and for teaching me so much. Today, we're going to talk about elections. We're going to talk about the elections and our part, our place in them. See, as of this recording, the American 2020 election between the Democrats and the Republicans, Joe Biden and the current president, Donald Trump, is about a week away. We're about a week away from this pinnacle of our political world. But here in Nova Scotia, we're about a week since our municipal elections where we elected a council and mayors for our towns and municipalities. And something struck me. As I was preparing for this week's talks, something struck me. All the talk of the election are over. And I understand why the election in itself is over. But all the talk of governance is over too. We're no longer talking about the council. We're no longer talking about our mayor. And we see the same thing. We see the same thing in our national elections here and our provincial elections. It seems like we vote for these people. We put them in power. We wait for the day of the election like it's Christmas. And all that, we cast our votes, we watch the television, we check out the internet to see who wins. Once the winner's decided, regular people, you and I, we walk away. It's over. It's done. But it's not over and done. It seems to me like we put so much focus onto the election day. We just want to get to a place where we elect the people that we want to elect, and then we want to take our hands off of it and just let them go and do the things that they promised they would do. But I'm not sure if you've noticed, more often than not, governments don't do what they promised they would do. Maybe they might do one or two things, but oftentimes governments really seem to me like they're failing to do what they're supposed to do. It strikes me that they are much more concerned about being reelected than they are about living up to the promises they made to their constituents. They're much more focused on sitting on the fence. They're much more focused on the administration. They're much more focused on their appearances on camera than they are on actually doing what they said they were going to do. And perhaps maybe that's our fault, that we have an expectation that they will go and they will save us from the things that are going on around us. Maybe that's our fault, that we have an expectation that they are going to look after all of our needs. But the truth is, we don't elect people to be our parents. We elect people to govern our country, our state, our province, our town, our city. Whoever it is that gets in power, they need two things from us, as far as I can tell. They need us to keep them in check. That when they step out of line, we are there to check them. That we are there to make sure they understand that we're watching. That we are not in approval. But the other thing they need, and I think even more importantly, because Lord knows we have enough pundits in this world, is we need to be involved in fixing our world. We can't leave it to somebody else to do it. They will always disappoint us. They will never live up to our expectations. They will never set this world right according to our standards. So if we have a desire that the world should improve, then once a government is chosen, the very next day, we should let them know we're here. We want to be involved. Point us in the direction you need us to go. Tell us which committees you need us to sit on. Tell us what work can be done from where I am. right? We need to make sure that we are the ones who are taking the reins in our communities to make our communities the places we want to live. To my American brothers and sisters, if Donald Trump is your choice and he gets reelected, if you think he's going to make America great again, you're kidding yourself. But to those fans and supporters out there of Joe Biden, if you think he's going to come in and make everything right, you're kidding yourself. We see the same thing here in Canada. We have a prime minister that I voted for because he spoke to the hope that I had. And I'll tell you, he hasn't lived up to my expectations of him. It's not his fault, it's my fault. I voted, and I assumed he would do what I wanted him to do, and he didn't. Is there a good reason for that? Probably. But I need to be the one. I need to be the one that takes charge in my community. You need to be the one that takes a role in your community. We need to roll up our sleeves and pitch in and get this stuff done. We need to be the ones who speak words of hope and love and compassion. We need to be the ones that are encouraging and inspiring others to take up their place in this work. Doesn't matter who gets elected. If we expect they are going to fix everything, we are setting them up for failure in our eyes. It's up to us. It's up to you and I. We're the ones. Let me know in the comments below what you plan on doing in your community when this election season is all over. What are you planning on doing in your community to make your community the place that you want to be? May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, and I pray you know the peace of always being in God's presence. And I pray that no matter what happens, no matter which way these elections go, that you and I and everybody out there will be willing to roll our sleeves up and pitch in and do the work that needs to be done to make our communities as the best places they possibly can be. Amen.